How are we going, fellas? Welcome to a rather early edition for us of the A1P1 podcast. So I'd like to welcome Greg Henninger, or SOE Legion, as you guys may know him from the Reddit and around the traps, SOE Community Manager for H1Z1, and my good friend and lone wolf, Athalius69 here. How you going, guys?
Good.
Hey, good
Cool,
to be
cool.
here.
Yeah, cool,
Yeah, it's
thanks.
early for you, but not so early for me. It's
Yeah,
still 1:30 on Friday.
yeah. We're just cracking that first beer in about 3 hours, I reckon. A nice quiet beer.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, cool. Let me just get this all sorted out for us now. Cool.
And I see Cycles McHurts in the chat. That's Tom Shank.
Hey,
So everybody, make sure you say hi to him, one
how
of
you
the
going?
devs on H1Z1.
That's cool. How you going, Tom? Yes, very good. So where would you like to get started? Let's talk about Greg, I guess, being the special guest today. Basically, we'd like to start off by just maybe introducing yourself and a little bit of what you do as a community manager. I think most people would know what you do,
Right.
but just to get a bit of a feel for it, and we'll go from there if you don't mind.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, my name's Greg Henniger. I used to work for PC Gamer and Games Radar as well before SOE picked me up to be community manager on H1Z1. Pretty much an average day for me would be, monitoring all the social media channels. You get Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, responding to all you guys with all your questions, creating a lot of the dev videos, the dev Q&As, and the dev blogs and things like that. Once the game officially comes out, can have a lot more to do for sure. And I'm looking forward to that. But
Yeah, cool. I
yeah.
imagine it'll be all popping off once it gets released.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
that's when you guys get busy, eh? So
Very busy, yeah.
yeah,
For
yeah,
me, right now, it's kind of, maintaining the community and trying to, we don't want to build hype right now since we don't have a date exactly.
yeah.
So just trying to keep an even keel while giving useful information out to the community without, kind of building any type of false hype.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's for sure. That's what we're here for. We build the hype and get guys
It's good.
interested. I might just change this real quick. Just one sec, guys. So it's a bit weird. So sorry. Here we go. That's probably a little bit better, is it? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So yeah, cool. So do you play many survival games, or
I
what
do,
games are you
yeah.
into personally?
Personally, I'm more into kind of like FPSs or Skyrim, those types of like giant open world games, which H1Z1 will eventually be. Um, I also really dabble in games like Age of Empires, like RTSs. Currently playing the hell out of FTL. I
Oh yeah,
love
yeah,
that game.
yeah. Everyone
Yeah.
raves about it. Like I keep hearing about it, and I'm like, oh, I should. I always say, oh, I might check that out. I've
Ah,
never
it's
got
great.
time. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
cool. I have to jump on it, see what it's all about.
But I like to be more of, a well-rounded gamer. I'll
Yeah, yeah,
dabble in everything.
yeah. Sure, cool. Yeah, cool. Have you got anything you want to ask, Thaddeus?
No, I think that's about it.
Cool, nice and easy. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, very good. So I'd just like to quickly just talk to the chat and say if you do have any questions or you want to ask any questions to anyone on the stream, perhaps just put A1P1 in the dash, and then Thaddeus will know that that's a question, and then he can copy and paste it off, and we can ask it a little bit later, rather than jumping around all over the place. Yes. So, what's it like working on a major title like this for SOE, and the I guess the daily thing, the daily job routine that you do? Like I imagine you're in charge of creating those blogs and spotlights. Is that right?
Hmm. Yep. It's actually super interesting because I came from a journalistic background, working with PC Gamer and like that. to go, totally on the other side where you're working with the dev team and developing a game in and of itself instead of reviewing a game a week. And it's super great. One thing I was really excited about when I came on the team was the game was still, being built. The community was just starting to be created, and so that was a big draw for me to help, build the community from the ground up. Kind of watch the game grow and watch the community grow. So that was a big thing that I was excited about for H1Z1, and I mean the community is continuing to grow. Um, and we've got a lot of really awesome plans for once the game gets into your guys' hands. In-game events, things like that. But just have to wait and see.
Yeah. The dev spotlight today, I think, got me actually quite excited when he was talking about just what can be done and what they can do just from, I guess, all the experience you guys have got with MMOs and what you guys know and can do. And it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's definitely one of SOE's strengths. We've got EverQuest, PlanetSide 2, just these DCUO, these massive MMO, games. So we have a lot of experience creating games of that size and that scale. So I think that will definitely help with H1Z1. A lot of the guys have come from other teams. And so they bring with them all sorts of experience that will be super helpful on H1Z1. And yeah, the dev spotlight that we put up today with Tim really showcases that aspect. The new or the world generation tool that they're currently working on is super exciting. It's part handcrafted, part procedurally generated. So the world of H1Z1 is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah. So did I get it correct when I watched it? And that was for placing items, or is that in the world in general is generated that way?
As far as I know, and Cycles McHurts can speak to that probably a little bit better than I can in the chat, but it's more for as the world gets larger and larger, like not just the items themselves. I don't think. I think it's on a much larger scale. The example he used was say there's a stove, and there could be a number of things that could go on that stove. They'll place the stove, but procedurally, the stove may look different. There'll be a different number of pots on the stove, and I think a lot of that, as on a bigger scale, like houses will be, in different places, and everything inside the house will be unique from the house that's right next door. But yeah, there's a lot that they're keeping from me still. So I'm learning. I'm learning along with everybody else.
Strategically keeping it back.
Right.
Just one thing, are they? I don't know if they are or not, but are they going to add animations for, like, say you open the oven and the oven opens? Do you know if that's in?
I know we definitely have plans to do things like animations for when you're looking through your backpack or your inventory. They aren't in for early access, but they'll probably come through early access.
Yeah.
A lot of things, people need to realize is like early access is very early. Like the game has ways and ways to go.
Yeah.
And those little touches and things like that will definitely come in throughout early access and even post-launch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't expect that sort of thing to be
right.
their start.
Because right now you just see a guy standing in the middle of the forest, but he's actually like looking through his inventory, but it just looks like he's AFK or something like that. But I know things like getting in and out of cars and things like that are all things that the team is actively talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. And just how do you guys feel when someone says that the game looks far more advanced than other games in the genre that were released? And do you guys think, oh, well, because I personally, I can see what you're trying to do, and it's trying to give us a great platform to build from, which is fantastic. But it must be kind of, I don't know, frustrating, I guess, to keep hearing it from the community. We know you want to give it to us, but at the same time, it must be kind of hard for you guys.
And that's a lot of stuff that I've talked about before. Like we wouldn't exist if DayZ, didn't exist. So and we all love DayZ, and we play DayZ, and we get a lot of inspiration from it. We're making that genre of game that we all want to play desperately. Um, and right now, a lot of the things that are holding us back from early access aren't audience facing things. They're things on the back end. They're things, prepping servers and making sure that everything's going to work right when we do launch. So looking from an outsider's view, somebody who's super excited about the game, and the game looks crazy polished and ready. And believe me, there it is. There are plenty of bugs for everybody to find. Don't worry, everyone will have a fun time on their bug hunt. But yeah, a lot of that stuff is on the back end for us right now. So not much has changed in the last month, audience facing wise. Um, it doesn't mean that the artists don't continue to work. If one part of the game is being held up because of one section, the guy working on the cop car isn't just going to stop working on the cop car. So we do get these incremental additions to the game, while other parts of the game that aren't interesting to look at are currently being worked on.
Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for that. So we'd assume that you're pretty close in the dev team that's working on it. So I imagine it would be quite, I don't know, full on sometimes. But what's it actually like working in that sort of office environment? I mean, at the moment, I imagine everyone's got their heads forward, eyes down, working flat out.
Yep.
But generally, I mean, it must be quite fun to work in that sort of office in
Yeah.
building a game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's obviously a lot of perks into working in the video game industry. You're working on something that you're super passionate about, so you're excited to come into work every day. And everyone on that team is crazy passionate about H1Z1. They all want it to be the best it can be. So it's fun to head over to the dev team and see what they're crazy excited about, because when they're super excited about something, they are going to work really hard on it, and then they're going to make sure that it is exactly the way they want it. So yeah, it's great working here, and honestly, it's the people are passionate about what they do, and it comes off in their attitude and stuff. So I would recommend it.
Yeah, it's one of those dream jobs, I think, for everybody. Like, I'm a 3D modeler designer, but in the structural sense. So so I got a bit of a feel for it. So I see these guys modeling up stuff, and I go, oh, it's like so cool to be able to put it into a game, whereas well, just structural, it's not much fun. So, in the sense that in product, you don't really get to see it. Some other dude gets to walk on it, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a huge portion, like we're all working hard on the game, but the most exciting part for us is when we actually give it to you and we see what you guys do with the game. And we learn from what you do with the game, and we're gonna, a lot of the incorporation of people's ideas, from Reddit and Twitter and things like that, a lot of that stuff is really going to come into play once we get the game in your hands. Right now we've got our pillars of the game, all the different features that we want to make sure are polished and ready to go. And believe me, everyone is reading Reddit every single day. Everyone's lurking, even if they're not responding. But yeah, once the game actually gets in your hands and you see what it is and you can see the potential, then we can really start that collaboration process that we're all very excited about. So we are just as anxious to get it out as you guys are to play it, believe me.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's often funny when you hear or read something on the Reddit, and then often it's Clegg. He will say, "I'm right here," like we are there. They are there. Just know that they are there, and they do read most threads. So.
Yeah, no, it's true. We're all there. We're all reading.
Yeah,
but some are a little more vocal than others.
Yeah.
Cycles McHurts does a great job in the Reddit, so big shout out.
Big shout out to Tom. It's awesome.
Good stuff, Tom.
He does some, like, it's been a few times I've read his stuff and go, oh, that's really cool. Like, he's actually explaining to us what's happening and what they do, which is, you don't normally hear about that. You just get something at the end, and it's like, oh, this is what we've been waiting for. So.
Yeah, like I try to answer what I can, but when it comes to like really specific technical stuff, I just divert to Tom, or whoever else on the team is working on that particular thing. I'll try to give them a little nudge to get in there and answer. But
Yeah,
props to.
yeah, for sure, for sure, and the rest of the team, man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So the first Survivor Radio was awesome, and
Oh,
we're kind of
thank you.
wondering if there's going to be another one prior the EA launch or even after. Maybe we don't know. We'd like to know if there's something going to happen.
Yeah, I can give you a little inside information. We are definitely going to do some more Survivor Radio. Um, we have 6 scripts that we're ready to shoot with very soon, and I will actually get to be a part of it this time.
Cool.
I'm going to be
Awesome.
doing the voice for one of them. So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff coming up for Survivor Radio, and um, some of these ideas actually came from Reddit suggestions. People who have written, some of the scripts. So this is, direct from the community, but also some of the stuff that we wrote for the original Survivor Radio. But we'll see a new cast of characters and some returning ones. But yeah, there's a future in Survivor Radio, and potentially a Survivor Radio future that you might hear in the game itself. That's something I'm definitely pushing for. Getting a radio broadcast that you can, tap into if you're near a radio tower or something like that. Hear some Survivor Radio, or
Yeah.
potentially even we're kind of talking about a walkie-talkie system internally. That if you find a walkie-talkie and there are other people who have walkie-talkies, you can listen in on their conversations if you dial into the correct frequency. Um, and things like that, you'll be able to hear Survivor Radio and things. So there's a lot of really cool, fun ideas going on right now. But again, yeah, these are things that we'll be talking about and implementing once we get into early access.
Yeah, there's quite a lot to put in. What you've just said there, there's quite a lot there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
again, early access is just the tip of the iceberg. Everything that we've put in so far is just pillars of the game. Crafting, we've got the pillar in. Scavenging, we have the pillar in. But everything is going to just get blown out 100-fold as we work. So we want to make sure that all those pillars are in and that they work well. And then all of your guys' ideas, I don't want to say all the ideas, but there's some very interesting ideas out there. But some ideas will definitely make their way into the game. And I mean, a lot of the ideas that we read on Reddit are things that we are already talking about internally. So
Yeah, yeah, excuse me. There was that one last week, and it was quite a hot topic with the world not looking the way someone was expecting it. They were expecting to see rotting bodies and all of that, and that was quite hot.
Mhm.
And it's quite
Yeah.
funny. I think Cycles McHurts said that they'd just discussed it, like just recently.
Yeah, it's crazy sometimes. Like we'll have a 3-hour conversation about something, and then the next day it's like, well, wouldn't this be cool? And internally we're like, it will be cool. So
Yeah.
Yeah, notice that quite a bit. Somebody puts up something and then Tom usually says, oh, we've just been talking about that actually. So
yeah, it's very true. Happens a lot.
Mm.
And we'll definitely give credit where credit's due. I mean, we're not gonna be like, oh, that's a cool idea. Oh, we were thinking about that. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
But, what else we got here? Ah, yes, the big one. Are you guys? We know this has been quite a hot topic on Reddit that relates to forums, and I think it seems to work at the moment. Like I never used to use Reddit until H1Z1 came along, so I didn't really know what to expect. But for me personally, I think it's fine. Can be a bit. Some stuff can get lost, but are you planning on doing the forums? I know you've said in the past we don't know, or Reddit's fine, so we're going to do that.
Yeah.
But for EA, I think once EA hits and people start getting on this thing, it's just going to be absolute mayhem, personally.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, forums definitely have a really good thing in terms of moderation. Allows me to do a little bit more of my job when it comes to moderation. But Right now, I know Smed's very excited about Reddit. I'm not going to say that forums won't come in the future, but there's not much more I can say other than, there's all sorts of places that people are popping up. Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, forums possibly in the future, who knows? Um, but everyone's going to kind of gravitate towards where they want to have the conversation. I know there's going to be Steam forums. Every Steam game has Steam forums,
Yeah.
and I'll be in there, as well. So H1Z1 HQ created forums of their own. So these things are going to pop up, and I know a lot of us are everywhere. At least I am. It looks like we got Sony
Yeah, I
Shock
was just saying, g'day,
in there.
Sony.
So.
How you going?
All right, what's going on, Steve? But yeah, everyone's going to kind of gravitate towards what works for them. Right now, our main push is Reddit. That's kind of just, since we don't have forums currently, it's the best place for people to give us long form ideas. We'll get people every once in a while on Twitter, like with 7 or 8 tweets in a row just to say one thing because their idea is so long.
Yeah.
But I mean, we appreciate that too. But Reddit, for now, is the best place to disseminate that information.
Yeah, that H1Z HQ, that community site, that's pretty polished. I mean,
Hmm.
that's wicked that someone's actually done that. That's really cool.
Yeah, they're doing a great job.
Yeah,
Big
I'd like to give
props
them
to
a
them.
big shout out to those guys
There's
for doing it.
Hurricane in the chat right now.
Yeah,
What's
he's
going
there,
on?
and I think H1Z1
Oh, yeah.
HQ.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and Mongoose, I think. Is it Mongoose? One of them
Yep.
there? Yeah, he's there as
Sweet.
well.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, how's it
Keep
going?
up the awesome work.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's wicked. So, I guess move on to the next thing is the play tests. So, how often do you guys play test this thing? Is it
Every day.
Every day?
It's every day, yeah. We will, there's a live build, a QA build, and a main build. And so things get put into main every single day. And, like little changes here and there. And then once we get a really solid main build, we'll push it over to QA. And then that will be like the one that we'll live stream from because we know it won't crash on us and we know it won't do this or that. But when everyone on the team, is coming up with their new ideas or tiny incrementations to the build, we'll do a build every day, and then usually later in the day we'll do a play test, and everyone will jump in, test out the new things, see if they work, see what falls apart, fix it for the next day. Sony Shock looks like he's playing right now.
I think
So,
trolling is the word right now, is it not?
he's trolling hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
playing
see you
right
in there after this, Sony.
Maybe you can put
But
maybe you can shoot him in the face for me. And
yeah, I will.
Give him a thank
But
you.
yeah, we do play every day, and I mean it's a really good way to keep the team together and on top of all the additions that are getting added in. Um, there are times where I'll miss 5 or 6 play tests, and then I'll jump in and things are brand new to me. Like when I did the 24-hour stream, I was on that one hour block for H1Z1, and there was a number of things that I hadn't seen before, like the zombie eating the deer animation, and that's something I've been very excited for a long time. So to like see that happening, I thought was really cool. And the bow arc had changed,
Yeah.
and proximity crafting got put in. Just like little things are getting put in all the time. So every time we do a stream, you'll see some new things. They might not be incredibly drastic, like holy shit, the game looks totally different now.
Yeah.
Which I think some people expect after not seeing a stream for a month. But yeah, little implementations are getting put in daily. So kind of our process right now is streaming less and then having a stream when we have a lot of cool things to show.
Yeah.
I think it worked really well the last time Steve and Paul did their stream. They had the spray painting in, they showed some new crafting things. Kind of, and showed off new areas of the town. There can be an element of stream fatigue. Early on, we brought in a lot of streamers, and everyone was showcasing the exact same thing on the exact same build, and it was good for us because it got our game in front of their audience. But our core community, you guys, basically said like, okay, we're done with this now. Like, we get it. You can craft a bow and arrow and
Yeah.
then hunt deer. Yeah, kind of our newish strategy is to hold off a little bit and then show you actual progress
Yeah.
instead of just streaming for streaming's sake.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. I mean, that live stream that you did, I was blown away. I mean, I didn't get up at 3:30 in the morning to watch it, but when I did watch it, and the next morning I was like blown away when that zombie actually took the deer down and started.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh, that's amazing! Can't believe that's in there.
And our new lighting system's constantly being tweaked.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
something that's changing again on a daily basis. I think it's in a really good spot right now. I hadn't seen it for a while, and then kind of our new nighttime look right now is great. And the iris effect that we're just now implementing, when you're looking at you're sitting at a campfire, cooking your bear steaks or whatever it is, and so the campfire's bright and you can kind of see everything around you. And it happened to me in the stream, but I didn't really notice too much. You turn around and you can't see anything. It's just pitch black out there. And so you slowly start to walk out into the night, and your eyes will start to adjust, and then you can see everything a lot better. And then if you look back towards the fire, kind of slowly look away from the fire, look out into the night, the time difference on how your eyes adjust, and even down to little things like gun muzzle flashes. If you're firing, like you can see, very well at night, and then you fire off your gun a bunch of times, and the flashes
yeah.
are making you more and more blind. So that when you pull your gun down, you can't see nearly as well, and then it takes a
Wow.
little bit of time for you to get back into it, things like that. So that's being implemented right now and tweaked so that it feels right. So yeah, that's another cool little feature that's going in.
I wouldn't say that's little. I think that's pretty. That's pretty amazing. I think that's
Yeah,
really
that's true.
awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's you don't see that. That's really cool. Like,
Mhm.
but to even think to put it in and then have the ability to do it, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, and these things just come from the guys who are really, really well versed on the team who are in charge of something like that. Like, wouldn't it be cool if, and then it gets put in because that person has time to put it in while we wait on something else, and it gets put in and it changes everything and it's awesome. Like Greg Spence's audio, tests where we're starting to implement music and layering it on top of each other and shooting your gun indoors versus outdoors and the Doppler effect as a car drives by, things like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, if you got anything Davis, because my voice is starting to go. I'm starting to get a sore throat. Have you got anything you want to ask?
Hero or bandit?
Myself?
Yep.
Bandit.
I would have to say hero because I really do hide from a lot of people. Like some of my favorite parts of the game are, seeing somebody like sitting around a campfire or kind of when you walk up to a building and you see a flashlight in there and it's kind of looking around the room and that adrenaline starts going. My initial reaction isn't to go in there and see if I can kill them because I have just spent hours acquiring all of these cool things for my own survival. And, but if they come after me, I'll defend myself. But my initial reaction is not to just go in guns blazing, especially if I don't have any guns. But yeah, I really like in our play tests where we'll team up with a couple of different people and we'll build something and we'll go take areas of towns. That's fun for me.
Yep.
And it's also fun to have the bandits out there. Like
Yeah.
I myself might not be a bandit, but I appreciate the fact that they're out there because that makes the game wildly more immersive for me. Some guys on a rooftop sniping and the bullet whizzes by my head and all of a sudden I've got to figure out where he is. I've got to hide, and then as a team, we go take him down if we can. It's just all those little tiny stories that I love. But yeah, I would probably associate myself more on the hero side or survivor side, I guess.
Yeah,
Be a
cool.
little more cowardly than hero.
Yeah. Have you ever?
I guess-
Oh, sorry, go, mate. There you go.
No, you go. You go.
I'd say, have you ever had a play test where you've gone, okay, 5-on-5 or 3-on-3, let's try and take part of town? Or
It happens occasionally. I've never been a part of one where we like intentionally did it. I know that we have one probably coming up soon where we're going to kind of test the PvP like deathmatch version of a server rule set that we're working on, where everyone's going to start with guns and ammo and kind of just go for it.
okay,
Uh, but I haven't personally been involved in one of those yet. But they happen organically.
yeah.
Yeah. What is your favourite or most memorable moment in a playtest so far?
Let's see. My favorite moments. I mean, honestly, it would probably have to be where I was. Again, it was nighttime, and someone's rooting around inside of a. Oh no, this is a better one. I went over to the governor's There's like a mansion area of town where it's
Yep.
like really nice houses,
Yep.
and I'm inside rooting around, and I turn around, and there's a bear standing in the doorway,
Yeah,
just
right.
like looking at me, and I was like, okay. So I slowly walk up the
I'm
stairs.
just walking backwards, you know.
Yeah, don't mind me.
Yeah.
And it was during the build when it was super easy to get a bow and arrow where you started with an axe. And so, my initial thing is go out into the wilderness, chop down a tree, tear off my shirt, make a bow, craft 70 arrows, and then start the game. It just doesn't work like that anymore because it was a little fun for me, but it won't work for everybody. So I was slowly working my way so the bear wouldn't come after me. And then I worked my way up to the balcony that overlooks the front door. And I was like, oh, I got this. And so I shoot the bear like once or twice with a couple arrows. And then I realize he's sprinting up the stairs, rounding the corner. And I leap off of the balcony, and I look back up, and the bear's up on the balcony, like looking down at me. And I was like, oh, I'm safe still. So I start shooting more arrows. Bear sprints back down to the front, out the house, kills me instantly. And it was just like so much fun because the bear was kind of super fast, and it was like just a little too fast to where he's at now. But they're a beast. Like they'll take you down in one swipe.
So,
But it was awesome.
so the lesson there is don't mess with the bear.
Yeah, do not screw with the bears. They are no
And
joke.
close doors behind you so they can't follow you in the house.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that was because when I turned around, he was standing in an open doorway, and I was like, "Oh, I probably should have closed the door."
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I love about the AI with H1Z1 is that animals and zombies are smart. They're smart enough to go around and check for other entrances or, work out a path to you. So that's awesome to hear.
And right now, Mitch is working on different types of zombies. So you'll have some dumb zombies and some smarter zombies, where one zombie will say you're on one side of a fence, and there's two zombies on the other side. One of them will walk around the fence and come around and get you, whereas the other one will walk up to the fence and kind of grab onto the fence and do like the Walking Dead, like
that's cool.
Like, yeah, they'll stick their arms through the fence trying to get you. So we're kind of tweaking with that right now, like how many dumb zombies versus how many intelligent zombies, shall we say?
Yeah.
But it does make for a varied experience. But I do love the I do love the zombies grabbing onto the fence and shaking it and things like that.
You gotta watch out for those drop bears, Stone Shot. They'll get you every time.
Bears. Yeah, no, don't stand under any trees.
They'll get you. Yeah.
They will.
I think my favourite part of the streams was the last one with Sody Shock and Paul Carrico and Clegg in the truck. Sorry, the car. Free Willy.
When he did his free willy up over the.
Yeah, that was cool. I was like, that's funny.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So that whole stream had a lot of player interactions that we hadn't seen before between two groups of people. So that was really good to see. That was.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea of the stream, to have it more like a play test and player interaction than a tour of H1Z1, because we've done
Yeah.
that 1,000 times, and there's 1,000 videos of that, 1,000 streams of that for people to see. But yeah, moving forward, more of our streams are going to be like that, being a live server, having a play test, and we're showing you new things, but also showing you, that kind of interaction, because
Yeah.
that's what you guys can expect. That's how the game's going to play out for you. Like when I was playing on the 24-hour stream, I was alone on the server. Like I didn't have to be afraid of anything. I came into the office. I was the only one playing H1Z1. So on that, I was, kind of showcasing what it's like to play by yourself. But a major, major part of our game is those player interactions. And that changes the game a lot. So.
Mm.
Yes. So how many times have you killed Clegg?
More than I have fingers on my hand.
That's cool.
He's a good sport about it, though.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get his. He gets you back just as much, I imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the first time I killed him, I felt very achieved, because it was the first time I'd ever grabbed one of the sniper rifles. And he was sitting in the back of a truck, not moving, obviously going through his inventory. And I killed him, and then immediately got on, text and was like, yeah, I got you. So
Yeah.
it's an internal achievement now. We should just make it a real achievement. Kill Clegg.
Yeah.
Are playtests persistent for you guys, or do you start fresh every playtest?
We have persistent playtests that'll probably last, a week or so. Just in the persistence that your items carry over. We do have to put, new builds and things like that. Don't get rid of everything for us. So we will have characters that we become attached to and things like that. But maybe once every 2 weeks or something, we'll do like a real change in the game, and then we will encourage people to create new characters. Or I guess Sony Shock or Tom could just wipe everybody's characters if they wanted to. But I know a lot of people do hold on to their own characters, or some people like to create a new character every game.
And
Yeah. So it's not like a server wipe then every playtest, where stuff you've built is still going to be there and stuff like that.
That's a good question. I don't know. Let's ask Tom or Steve in the chat. Does stuff you build get wiped when we make a new main, or does that stick around? I know the items they stick in your backpack and stuff, but
I'd imagine it would be white, wouldn't it?
I would think so.
Excuse me. Yeah. I think. Are you? Sorry. Are you guys allowed to use? Are you guys allowed to use dev magic in your playtests?
Some people do. He says, nope, those are character wipes. Some people do their little dev magic. I haven't memorized all the dev magic commands, so I think one time, I only used it one time, and it was to spawn a truck in. They had just put the truck in, the pickup truck, and I spawned that in and drove it around a little bit. But there are people who will immediately load up themselves with rifles and ammo. What's fun too is we have the AV department who's constantly, making the trailers and in-game stuff look really cool. They're always in there shooting. So they'll use dev commands that will, change the weather all of a sudden, or it's no longer midnight, it's the middle of the day. I don't use any, but some people do. So when they kill me, I feel like they just gave themselves a gun.
Yeah, it didn't count. Didn't count. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if it's Jimmy.
He's
always testing out the guns.
He'd be the worst, wouldn't he? Oh, I've got to check this out. Load up.
Yeah, exactly. Got to test out this new shotgun.
Yeah.
Let's try it on Greg.
We've just tweaked a few things. I need to test this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. What else have we got here? I know you've got to go pretty soon, so have you got any questions from the chat, Thales? Or
there's been a couple of questions there. Korean has asked, I have a question, can you translate the game or not? I guess he's asking whether there will be other languages for H1Z1 other than English.
I believe that's the case. If you look at all of our other games, PlanetSide 2 and
Yep.
EverQuest and things like that, we do localize the games. What do you think, Steve? I don't know how many it'll be localized into at EA release, but yeah, I mean we're
Yep.
gonna have a varied audience base.
Yeah, Sony's just saying they're doing some translating now. Tom
Cool.
did mention that it's not solidly planned for EA, but will come later.
Right.
It's already
Yeah.
in motion.
Cool.
So that's excellent.
So I'd expect.
So they're putting it as Australian, are they?
Yeah, we're gonna